Hi, welcome to Tea Time with Amie and Bev.
Good morning.
What's up, sister? I gotta show you something. I'm asking you, but you gotta hold on, sir, because I'm so
I was gonna
excited
say,
about this.
you go.
I gotta show you something. Okay, so I'm an emotional resiliency coach, right? That's what I
Yeah.
claim to be anyway. So check this out.
Nice.
Isn't that cool?
I like it. I like it.
Got my resilient shirt on.
That's
So
awesome.
I just had to share. I'm like, when I found that, I actually ordered it online. When I found it, I was like, oh, I gotta have that.
Where are you ordering from? You just happened to run into it?
No, I had a super sale with JC Penney before Christmas.
Nice.
Had a 50% off coupon. I was like, heck yeah.
Nice.
So I took it. I enjoyed it. Let's just say that. I enjoyed that shopping moment.
So how are you doing?
I'm being resilient.
I like it.
I love all
day,
the
every
colors
day.
in there.
I like the colors. That's a cool way to get all the, I want to find more shirts like that has all the colors in it.
Oh, let me show you my pants because these are my bubblegum pants. Can't see.
Those are some pants right there.
Actually, they're like a bright pink. They're brighter in person than on camera. But anyway, I call them my bubblegum pants.
Nice. That's awesome.
So anyway, I mean, people didn't come here to look at my wardrobe, but that's all right.
Well,
It's
that just
fun.
tells them they need to be watching and not just listening.
That's right.
That's right.
And they're fun and they're bright. And that's exciting to me. So, because in my days of darkness, it was black, white, and gray. That was pretty much my wardrobe. And so for me to move into a space where I can wear something like that, first of all, just wearing white. Let's just be real here.
That's true.
I'm reprogramming my mind to believe that I can wear white all day and it's safe.
That's nice because my first response was like, I was going to say something. It's like I caught myself because that's a natural thing that we've always heard, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's wearing white pants. What was she thinking? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Stuff like that. That was always something that was a conversation, but it's like, why not?
Well, what we focus on grows, right? And so in days past, I'd put on a pair of white pants and my immediate thought would be, they'll be dirty by the end of the day. And guess what? Guess what would happen every single time? So I very seldom would wear white. And then I had to start changing, knowing that we create things, we manifest things, right? Experiences. I think it was last year I posted, I actually put a post on social media and like celebrated. I put a picture of some white pants on there and I celebrated that I wore white all day long and didn't get them dirty. So it is possible. Nice. There are possibilities.
Yeah. But that's just another simple sign of reprogramming. Yeah. It's changing our thoughts. It's just a simple thing. And it's just one of those things that, like I said, I was getting ready to say something about it because that would be a common conversation to make a mention of that. That's like someone shooting you down on your dream. If you so allow it to be, it's like, oh God, I shouldn't have worn these. And then being surprised when something gets on them because you were thinking something was gonna get on them. It's like, oh man, like you freaking planned it all day long. You've been setting yourself up. What are you talking about?
Yep. You planted the seed right before you even, when I touched the hanger, planted the seed. These are going to be dirty by the end of the day. Planted it. And what happens? We program ourselves to have the experience that we're thinking about.
And it's just recognize those simple things. Yeah, every time recognize. And for me, if I catch myself getting ready to do something, let's say that I was getting ready to put on those white pants and I had that thought cross my mind, I probably would hang it back up until I got into a different frame of mind. So same thing as if we go into meditation, right? If we're going to create, I'm not going to go into a create because we all go through our dark times, And I'm not going to decide to create, even though we are, but I'm not going to sit myself down, plan to create something when I'm in that dark space, hope something good's going to come out of it, because I'm offering up a lower vibrational energy to something that's a higher vibrational energy. They don't match, right? So I would put those pants back until I got myself in a different mindset. And it's all right. So I'm not going to beat myself up. I'm not going to say that I'm being bad or doing something bad or anything. I'm not going to give any energy to it, but I'm going to recognize maybe I'm not in the right space to put those on right this minute.
You're right. And it's also thinking about the phrase, plan for the worst and expect the best. My husband said that to me recently. I was like, excuse me?
You're like pulling out the crosses. Like,
I'm like, holy water. No, that is not how my brain works, because I've had way too many confirmations about manifesting. And I have a thing written down where I say at least 3 times, and then I actually write it, is I am a masterful manifester. Good, bad, indifferent, ugly, doesn't matter. Amazing, exciting. I am a masterful manifester. And so his phrase, it was like, I was like, la, 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 la. I don't hear that. You're not planting that seed in my brain. So, because I'm at a space where I plan for the best and expect the best. That sounds a whole lot more fun to me. Plan for the best, expect the best.
I like that. Because otherwise you're pushing against, right? So we're back to the same conversation. If you were pushing against what he was saying, now you're only, that push against is going to put a push back to you, and it's going to match the energy that you're putting out.
Yep.
Such a good learning day.
It's so good, right?
Yeah, it really is.
All because I wore my resilience shirt and got excited about it.
That's all it takes.
I know.
That's all it takes. And it's like, finding yourself in a down, lower vibrational frequency. It's like finding all those little things, which we've talked about in a few different conversations, is raising yourself back up again. And really, it's quite simple. It's quite simple. It's just changing the thought patterns. You could start, for me, I could be like, God is within me. Well, God can't be within me. I can't recognize that if I'm in a lower vibrational frequency. That's for me. Angels are surrounding me. Angels are uplifting me. You know, and that keep going in that conversation, whatever it is. I love the color orange. I love the vibration of your shirt. It's super cool colors. I love it. It makes me feel great. I love the flowers in the background. It's like there's so many different ways for us to raise ourselves up. We don't have to stay there unless you want to stay there, unless you're like addicted to that staying in that place, or that's your motivation. And that's just to stop, have an awareness, and look at it. Like, why am I doing this right now? Why does this feel like this? Well, I'm done giving my energy to it.
Yes, and yes. And we stay in that lower vibrational space because it's not that it's comfortable. I don't think it's comfortable. Even when I was experiencing it, it wasn't comfortable. It was very stressful, but we know what to expect in that space.
Yeah. Very familiar, right?
Yes, very familiar. It's familiar zone. It's like living in the same house for 30 years and then thinking about moving, but not because you don't know if you're going to like your new house or the new neighborhood. At least you know where your neighbors, where you're at, right? Because you've been there for 30 years. You're not going to know anybody, right? It's just like, it's a safe space to be, even though it sucks.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Crazy, right?
I mean, and that, to me, we use that same, we do the same thing in relationships, and then relationships can encompass so many things. We do that with jobs. We do that with, our daily activities. We do it all the time. You don't have to.
They're taking the same route to and from work, not the same streets, like not deviating from any of that, because that's the path for you. But what if you stepped on a different path? What if you made a right turn instead of a left turn? What if you took one street down further? And what if you did want to move? And because you went one street further down, took a different route to work, you saw this amazing home that you've been thinking about for how long, just, imagining it, and you're visualizing it. And because you decided to take a different route to work, there it is, right? That's manifesting. That's bringing into your reality when you come into alignment with the receiving of it.
Yes, because you're listening to that guidance. You're listening to your intuition. I always say it's your intuitive guidance, but it's just that we have this constant guidance all the time. And we can't hear it when we're like, I'm going to go this way. Something I've been practicing a lot recently is before I take any of my vitamins, because I take all kinds of different things, herbs and stuff. Before I take it, I'll hold it in my left hand and I ask my body, do you want this today? Is this good for my body? And it'll let me know yes or no. My body will go forward with yes, or it'll go backwards for no. And it's like, is this good for my spirit? So I'm asking it for both things, because I'm finding that not everything is always good for your spirit and your body. So I'm going through this process, but that really isn't the big deal. The big deal is I'm learning this communication with my body.
Yes.
It's just like this new language, right? And we all want to be in a certain place and we want to do all these things, but we don't practice to get to those places. I was listening to Kim Russo recently, and I think it might have been an older video, but she's a psychic medium, and she's talking about how, she's helping people with her mediumship and everything, going through this whole process. And she's just talking about how, listening to all this little stuff, if you're going on that path, just to, like, if all of a sudden you get an urge to go a different direction, go that different direction, because that changes everything. That changes it all from, we're wanting changes every single day. Some of us want changes. We want to see that something's changed, so it's not the same, even though it can never be the same, because the energy shifted already. You've already changed. Everything's changed since yesterday, and everything is really different. But it's almost like we're trying to hold on as tight as we can to this one place of control instead of letting it go and seeing where it takes you. Because it's huge. Like, it's just like you said, it's like driving down the street and all of a sudden you see the house of your dreams, or you drive by a place and you're like, I'm going to work there. Like, all of a sudden get this urge, like, I'm going to work there, and it feels so good. And then you get to follow that path. It's like, well, I wonder how that's going to work out. How am I going to end up over there? I don't even do that kind of work. It's all these things. And we miss out by trying to stay in this comfort zone and trying to control everything and trying to just, be comfortable.
I've listened to The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer several times.
Okay.
And it has come back around into my experience. So I've been listening to it for the past couple of days.
Nice.
And his, this is going back to something you said earlier. I'm not exactly sure what you said, but it was had something to do with it. But anyway, it's like, I plan for the best and expect the best, right? And then when people are having experiences around me that are encouraging them to feel sad or upset or angry, or even the things that are going on in other countries, how is it that I can be in a good space? And the fact is that I can't feel bad enough for anything or anybody to make it better. And I can only be I'm going to use the word positive influence by raising my vibration. And in raising my vibration, I come into that alignment with what I want to manifest. And then, you hear me talk and it sounds like I'm being selfish, right? I'm just thinking about me. But here's the deal. The more I can manifest, the more I can bring into my experience and receive it with joy and excitement and love, that gives me the opportunity and the option to give more. So being a benefit, more of a benefit. And that's what these, that's what the multimillionaires are doing. Like they're receiving so much abundance of prosperity that then they become philanthropists. They're like starting nonprofit organizations. Is it an investment thing for? Absolutely. Is it a tax benefit? Absolutely. But it's also in that they're giving, right? They're giving back to, whether it's the people here in the United States, or it's in other countries, or providing water for people, or shelter, or whatever it might be, food, clothing, schools. So it's important for me to be resilient. It's important for me to raise my vibration, just same as it is for you and everybody else on this planet. And the more we're in that space of higher vibration, then the lower vibrations diminish. Are they going to be gone forever? Probably. It's possible, but probably not in our lifetime. Just going to be real with that one, but it is possible. There's always possibilities for greatness, right? And just keep in mind that keeping your vibration up is so important if you want to bring into your experience that which you desire.
It's true. And it's like when you're talking about we can just say those people or someone else that's going through these things, that's encouraging them to go within. These outside experiences are encouraging them to go within. Going through the what you might call the loss of a person in your life, it encouraged me to go within. It encouraged me to look at myself. It encouraged me to grow. Because good Lord, if I would have stayed in that same space, that feels so crappy. And there's nothing good that comes from it. It just doesn't feel good. And that's the thing. Okay, so all this stuff is going on in the world. What are you going to do about it? What can you do about it? You're going to go over there and help? You're going to go over there and put your guns on whoever's shooting someone else? You want to go over and do that? No, that is not even logical. Doesn't even seem like it's even a possibility for most people. There's no way to match that energy and make it any better, right? You can't match hate with love and have hate doesn't match with love. It can't happen. If hate wants to come at love, love's just going to love it more to where hate just disappears. You just can't. There is no such thing. You cannot be in a vibration low enough for somebody else that helps them. It just doesn't help. You can only be in a space of love. I could only have those people. You came to me when I was in a sad spot. At least I felt in a lower vibrational energy, and you had encouraging words to say. Those encouraging words helped to lift me up. You didn't make me feel worse by encouraging me, by staying in your power, by staying in the space of love. It made me feel better. Now, if someone else came that was sad, that came up and gave me the hug and was sad, well, then that took me down lower. It didn't make me feel better. So just know by how it feels. And from my experience, that's how it feels. It doesn't feel good. I was always encouraged by the positive stories, the way someone might have touched another person. Those things that were encouraging, those things felt good. And that's why it's so nice to be in that space, your own energy, maintaining a high vibrational frequency for everybody around you. It doesn't mean, and if someone wants to judge that, again, that's just an experience for that person, for them to go within. All of it guides you back to self, really, all of it. I've had someone recently reaching out, and I'm glad she's reaching out. I know that she's evolving because I was the person reaching out too. Hey, is there more classes going on? I'm like, I'll keep you posted. Any classes come up, I'll definitely keep you posted because this person's on their spiritual journey. But no, when you're on your spiritual journey, everything comes to you anyways. It's like you don't have to go searching for it. If you're searching for something, then you're not. It's just like looking for something that's lost. You can't find it. You don't search for it. You're open for it. You're open for all these experiences because they're coming. When you're ready to evolve your minds, you're going to go. Nothing's going to stop you.
And also speaking it out loud.
Yes.
Right. Amplifies it.
Absolutely.
Right. We have the thought and then the emotion follows. The emotion is what is being shared with the universe. And then when we speak it out loud, it's affirming that which we desire. And not only does she have herself focusing on her spiritual journey, now she has somebody else on her team with their radar up. Where's the classes, right? It's not that you're searching for the classes. You just know that you, because you're a masterful manifestor as well, that you're going to attract that information to share with her. But
Absolutely.
You do not need to go searching for it, like you're saying. And it's could be that she is learning to ask for help.
Absolutely.
So that's cool, right? To be able to reach out to somebody, because a lot of people, if we ask for help in any kind of way, then that's affirming that we're not good enough, that we can't do it on our own, or you know, I'm a loser or whatever. And to ask for help is being very vulnerable. It's saying, I don't know how to do this. I need help. And I know that the vibration, the energy of that story is shifting. So many people are talking about it, right? We're like, be vulnerable, ask for help. We're here to help each other. We're here to let each other know this is how I'm feeling right now, and I need some support. Like, that's becoming so prevalent in what's being discussed. And it's probably a moment for her to learn to reach out and ask for help and ask for that support. And what a compliment that is for you. And also it'll be when that information comes to you, whether she does anything with it or not, like, you've opened that door to say, okay, universe, where's the classes? And when that information comes, it's just like, thank you very much.
Yes, that's awesome. I like all those perspectives, honestly, because that's really cool. I like it. And it's true. I mean, it's true for me. It totally resonates with me.
Yeah. So it gives you an opportunity to play, right, with the universe to
Yes.
manifest that information.
Yes.
And again, it doesn't matter what she does with it. It's the fact that you did this piece. Yes, and it would affirm for you, or confirm for you, how powerful you are in your manifesting skills. Like, it could have been a minute after you had the conversation, or it could be 6 months. It's like, where are you in your desire to bring that information in? And then let's go even further. As you bring that information in for her, right, quote unquote, for her, that actually something comes in that you're like, oh, she might be interested in this, but holy cow, I'm super interested in it. And it's actually for you. It's just so crazy, right? It's so fun.
But you get to share it. You get to share it.
Yeah.
It's just like you were talking about recently, how things happen and it kind of puts you into connection with other people, right? You hear about somebody needing something. So someone needs a class, and then someone comes to you and says, hey, I got a class going on, if you got anyone that's interested, which is the same thing. You know, my granddaughter was in the hospital recently, and there was a food discrepancy, something that did happen with the food the first night. So they didn't get their food. And then I got a hold of someone that's higher up there, and she got a hold of the cook, and it was like 6:30 or it was like 7:30, or I think it was around 7:30, 8 o'clock. And somehow they hadn't left yet and managed to make, you know, my daughter and granddaughter food. So they had food for that night. And it was so freaking awesome. And then she comes in and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And then next thing you know, she brings up something that, hey, I need to have something done on my garage. Well, that's funny, because I know someone that had a garage business that sold it to their kids, and let me find out about that. So then it's like, that set me up with the information for her. And then she got her solution. She could, because she tried to get a hold of somebody, they couldn't make it out. They were supposed to make it out, canceled, and couldn't. So then it's like, it's just funny. I say it's funny, but it's just such a natural occurrence. This is a natural way of life for this to be going on, for this to happen, these experiences. This is exactly the way it is supposed to be. And it's not for us to do everything by ourselves. It is to ask for help, right? And I've had that experience. I was the person I would never have asked for help. Good Lord, no. Because that, like I said, it means I wasn't good enough. It means I couldn't do it.
That story was strong.
Hey, yeah, and I'll freaking ask for help. Like, I'll ask for something. I don't try to do it all myself anymore like I used to. I ask for help, and help always shows up. And sometimes it's just, I could be driving in my truck and be like, okay, got any angels? I freaking need some help here. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And just that alone by itself, just by saying I don't know what to do and needing help, and the help shows up. And that's the fun part, because you're in that space of that lower vibrational energy, like, oh, not desperation, but like I give up. Like, I don't know, not give up where I'm peacing out and I'm going to take myself out, but giving up where I don't know what to do anymore. Like I can't do anymore right now until I'm guided. And then all of a sudden this amazing guidance comes in, and it's just, you just know it, and everything feels so good, and it guides you, and it's so simple and easy. Just by letting go.
It is so easy, isn't it?
It
I
is.
mean, it really is. I mean, when you say things, it sounds simple, but it's not easy. It really is that easy.
It really is.
And
It's easy.
I have been, I have to say, I'll be honest here. When I was mindfully manifesting, when I decided, okay, I'm going to play with this and see how this really works. And right when I first started and things came fast, it actually scared me. I was like, holy shit, I did that, right? I mean, and so I put up like a break. Like I would be like, oh, this happened way too fast, and it's what I wanted. Holy shit. Like it was amazing, but scary. And I think what that triggered was, now that I'm talking about it out loud, actually, is that I think it triggered am I really worthy of receiving this?
Okay.
As easy as I did. Right? Because what are the stories? You got to work hard for it. Doesn't come easy. Right? Those were the things that we heard in childhood. And so it came fast and it came easy. I'm not talking about my husband, so listen.
Very funny.
But I mean it did. It happened so fast. And it was so easy that it scared me. And I think it was just a trigger of my worthiness, that can things really be this easy? Yeah. And the more I play with it, the more it's like, this is so freaking cool. It is so freaking cool. And it is so fun because I take my imagination, I think about what I want. Some things I write them down, like every day I write them down. It's called, the statement starts out, I'm excited about. So I write down, I'm excited about, and then I list at least 5 things that I'm excited about, meaning I'm excited about it happening. I'm excited about it coming to me. And I write them out every single day until it happens. And then I replace it with what's next? What am I excited about next? And the piece that is the most important is that I have the faith and trust that the universe is working for me, with me, and for me, and that it's going to come to fruition. And I just see it happening, and I believe it happens. And faith is just saying, faith, when you have faith, is believing in something that you cannot yet see. And trust is giving up control. So it's up to me to raise my vibration, believe it to be true, know that it's coming, and let go. And I mean, Wayne Dyer put it this way: let go and let God. Or you can say, let go and let the universe do its magic, right? Or let the universe co-create with me, or whatever terminology you want to use. Is just surrender the control.
Because it's easy. We go back to the whole thing, it's simple and it's easy. But it's not to a complicated mind, right? If you want to be in a complicated space, then it seems like, how is that even possible? But when you, like you said, when you just let go, let God, it always shows you how easy it can be.
Yep.
And that's something else I've recognized. I was listening to somebody, and I can't recall right now. They were talking about our minds and stuff like that, and how they're such a powerful generator, because it really is, if used the proper way, right? If used in a way, I shouldn't say proper way, but if used in a way to create what you want to create, not what you don't want to create.
A beneficial way. How's that?
It really is. It really is, because, but the whole thing is, you hear people keep constantly saying, get out of your head, stop doing this, don't let your mind, you're overthinking. But it's like, It's really not about all that stuff. It's almost like giving the mind a bad rap. It's almost like, then you think about ego. It's almost like giving the ego a bad rap. No, it's all, man, those are all parts of you to love, because that's creating separation again with inside. If you're thinking that, oh my God, my fucking thinking these things again, and it's stressing me out, and my mind, it's doing this. Well, your mind's doing, you're the one that's in control. Like, you're this big being in control of this body. So control it, master it.
And what do you have control over? Really? What do you have control over?
Yeah.
Yourself.
Well, exactly.
Right.
I mean, but it's not even so much, I call it awareness more of anything. Just being an awareness so you can guide yourself better in that stream, right? Instead of, because otherwise I'm paddling upstream the whole time. So it's just it's like celebrating every part of yourself. Don't look at it as a bad thing, because it's not a bad thing. Look at it, all the positive things. And I feel like sometimes in spirituality, depending on who you're listening to, and I haven't been listening to a lot of these people, but I had. And it's like, it was looking at these things like they're bad things, and these aren't bad things. These are freaking wonderful things. Our ego is an amazing thing. It really is. But there's a time and place for ego to be in harmony with us, really. But the rest of the time, there's a time and place for our mind to be active and doing all these things, because it helps to generate so much more energy towards what you're desiring. And I like how, because for me, and we talked, you used to be a lot like similar too, but it's like you're on this train, and there's like all these things, like, I'm going to go this way, and the train's wanting to go this way. It's like, this is your path right here. And it's like, I'm going to go this way, grab a hold of this. I'm going to learn how to do this. I want those crystals over there, all these things. And just with you saying, write down 5 things a day, that to me is huge. 5 things a day, focus on that, being a positive, not positive, but being a higher vibrational frequency that's going to match those things that you're desiring. And then keep your focus on it. And anything that comes in is just reminds you back to self again. Okay, I'm back to myself. I'm listening to this. I'm going to let go and let God. I'm already doing this. I'm writing it down. I'm feeling it, which is funny because I've been doing the same thing. I've been looking at really feeling the things, like looking around the property, and I could see how things could be so, adding some things to this, how it would be so beautiful. And not because it's not beautiful already, but how I can, my mind seeing it already like as if it's done. It's just doing all these things.
Yep.
And it's an awesome place. And that's probably because I've been asking, or I've been saying that I'm a masterful manifester, because I think you had said that not that long ago. And of course I wrote it down because it's awesome, but it's true. It's that if we stay in that same frame of mind, because otherwise if we say, I don't want to say anything contradicting that, but if we contradict ourselves, if we set ourselves backwards, we're like keeping ourselves on the same playing field and never allowing ourselves to rise or to elevate into a higher vibrational frequency.
And I know this to be true for myself, and I've heard it from a lot of people, is that we have the fear of moving into that higher vibrational frequency and holding that space because the people around us are miserable, because the people around us are sad, because the people around us are angry. And if I'm walking around like Pollyanna, happy, joyful, excited, then they're just going to criticize me. They're going to judge me. They're going to, and then I'm going to feel guilty because I do feel so good and they feel so bad. That's not a benefit for either, because by you lowering your vibration to match theirs, then you're moving into that space of amplifying that lower vibration. If you stay in that higher vibrational state, you can be an example for those other people that yes, all of this exists, all this heaviness does exist, but we don't have to live in it. We don't have to stay in it. If you're going to dip into it, fine, dip your toe into it and get your vibration back up. And because there's more that will happen in a space of feeling good than in a space of feeling bad. And again, I'm going to refer to Wayne Dyer's The Power of Intention, that because when we need reminders, we get our reminders, right? And so listening to his Power of Intention, I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm listening to this. I need those reminders. That what he said, he did quote from the Bible, and he said, in God, God created all that is good. And he said, the only difference between God and good is one O. And so everything that is good is from the creation of God. Then every time you think of God, then you think of good, right? They become synonymous because one equals the other. And so in that space of, and for, you know, taking it again a step further, that to me, God is love. It's just love. And goodness is created from the space of love, which means for me to create and manifest goodness, I then must be in that space of love. I must, and love is the highest vibration that is attainable in, you know, in human form. That's where we want to get to, is love and joy. That is what our source is. And if we come from source, then that's what we are. We're already good. We're already goodness. We're already love. And to practice being in that space more so I can manifest more goodness. And it's not that I need to manifest the goodness in order to be good to people, because I can be good to people with a smile, with opening a door, with, you know, helping an elderly person carry their groceries. I mean, there's so many ways to express goodness. And then more goodness comes, and more goodness I can give, and more goods, right? Because if we believe in the idea of karma, that whatever you put out, you get back 10, 100,000 times fold. Doesn't matter what number you use to me, just knowing that it's going to come back even more. And that happens whether it's goodness or badness, just saying, because I know that too. But I want to be more in that space of, in the vibration of love, in the vibration of joy, in the vibration of creating, expressing goodness and receiving goodness. And then just being on that infinite energy, infinite ride of giving and receiving, and giving and receiving, that ebb and flow of energy, of which we all are, in case we've forgotten that.
Exactly. And besides that, it's not meeting, you don't want to meet others where they're at unless they're in a super high vibration. If they are, then you want to go to where they're at and raise yourself up higher. But like you said, I think the tendency is to always feel bad because someone else is feeling bad, to match their energy to, because we think that's helping. But the thing is, I'm going to be in the space of love, and you come to me and I'll bring you up in the space of love, because both of us in the space of love, sending out love to another area of the world, to other people, is so much more powerful than so many people that are in the space of worry, fear, hate, anger, you know, all those lower vibrational frequencies. So meet me up here. The best thing that you could possibly do is to maintain your own frequency, your own vibration, and not put out worry, because what is worry doing? It's doing nothing. It's doubting. It's not having faith. And love evolves in faith. It evolves from faith. Faith evolves from love. So I don't know, something along those lines.
It's one of them.
My mind's got it somewhere in there. So
you mean what I'm saying? Sorry.
That's right. But we can't. I mean, we can't be low enough of vibration to help someone else that's in a lower vibration. We can't help people that are desperate, and by being desperate, we can't. There's no way to help them besides being in the space of love. So meet me up here. I'm going to be up here. Just come meet me, and then let's see what we can do. Well, then we have solutions. We actually have a view of solutions from that space.
Right. And if we're doing, so think about it, if we're doing this, if you and I are like, okay, Bev, meet me in this space of love so that we can be magical manifestors of goodness, right? If
Yes.
we're saying that, how do you think Source is perceiving us? He's like, okay, human people, you're telling each other to raise your vibration. What the hell you think I'm doing? You know, I raise your vibration, get in that space of love and joy, because all is created from space of love. Right.
And
so the more
so
the more we're raising our vibration, the closer we're getting to our source. Doesn't mean that, you know, I'm moving in the direction of love, which means that as soon as I reach this peak of love, like I'm gonna leave the planet. it means my vibration, I'm going to be here as long as my spirit decides to be here. And my vibration, raising my vibration of love is affecting hundreds of thousands of people. Not a few, not the people in my immediate experience, hundreds of thousands of people. And then I say, hey, Bev, meet me in this space of love. And now we're amplifying that even more. And then somebody else comes and we're like, hey, come over here and laugh with us and let's have a good time. And let's be in this space of love. And it amplifies even more. I mean, and that's just 3 people. 3 people affecting hundreds of thousands of lives. I would feel it would be important for many people to get on board with that. Just saying.
Yes. And as we're talking, I'm recognizing that we don't really have to raise our vibration. We're naturally high vibrations. It's letting go of all the stuff. It's letting go of all the bricks. Like I could just see, like I can have a visual of like trying to be this balloon, trying to float off and, you know, enjoy everything. And I've tied myself to all these bricks, or I've staked myself into the ground to all these different ways, these different beliefs that I think that I am anger. I think I am sad. I am depressed. I am, you know what I mean? All those things. And it's our natural space is to be in a space of love. And I like that, like you saying, meet me in the space of love, or however exactly that you said it, because that is like, that's huge. To me, that feels so big just to say something like that. Hey, we're having a love meeting. I don't know. It just feels
That's a
good.
good idea.
We're going to come together and do this. And it's like, okay, hey girl over there, we do have a class coming up. We want to be in a space of love. It's like, okay, so finding seeing all the ways that's, because I think we forget, and we, especially it helps to retrain ourselves to look at all these things that are of love all around us all the time. And each person's perspective during that conversation helps raise the whole energy of that space. And then once you get into that vibrational frequency, that's, our natural space, then us sending so much love to everything just to play with it, like just to like picking one thing. And then it's like you prove, even in a small group, that look what we just created. Look what we just manifested. So that sounds like so much fun to me, which we can do on an individual basis, but it is fun when you even come together, because now you have witness, right? You have confirmation. And it's not just your confirmation. Yeah, you have a group confirmation, like recognizing, wow, we really made a difference. Which I know people do this all the time, but they'll be coming together for, to help heal somebody that's sick, or, all these things. But I don't know, I feel like there's bigger things, like it's a bigger, massive picture for me to see. I mean, to see all this peace in the government, to see all, it's what we could have some real good fun with this. It's like all this other energy.
I'm thinking this would be awesome.
I'm sitting here, but all this other energy is going towards these things that are like, oh my God, what are they going to freaking do next? Or what, how are they going to control us? And that was something I had realized recently. Nothing, absolutely zero, nothing can control you. Nothing. It feels like things have controlled you because you've been controlled maybe as a child. That's been some old programming, but it's like nothing can control you. You are free. You are free. The only one that tethers you, stakes you down, holds the bricks in your pockets, whatever, is you. That's it.
When as soon as you made the comment, and said, we don't need to raise our vibration because we already are high vibration. As soon as you start saying that, immediately what I saw in my head was a hot air balloon with chains. And you said tied, right? So you're seeing ropes tied to bricks. I saw chains connected to the like earth.
Yeah.
And I started seeing those titles, right? Abandonment, molestation, abuse, anger, frustration. Like I start seeing each chain like that. And then you start describing it. I was like, we're on to something here.
Yeah. Because that's just another way of creating separateness in ourselves, right? Those are things that happen. Those are not who we are. We are not our bodies. We are not, there's so many things that we've put attachments onto that it's not even true. Like it's really not even real. And maybe it'll be something that's realized a lot earlier or a lot sooner than I expect. Not even expect than I guess that I've envisioned, is us all evolving and remembering all that stuff, because it goes back to the same thing. We are masterful manifestors. We really are. We've been we've allowed ourselves to be guided off that path, thinking that there's something wrong with us. So many things I've heard recently, thinking that some of the stuff wasn't natural and always trying to fit in, and it was like, and then drinking alcohol and everything else to be in that space. Just think about that in that space. So what was I lowering my vibration so I could be in this space, like always trying to fit in, always trying to be in a different vibration instead of being self, instead of just allowing myself in this high space. Good Lord. I mean, I can see this all the way. It's crazy because I can see it all the way back to childhood. I can see it all the way back to being this little girl, really, right now, as we're having this conversation. So it's really a lot of realization for me today. And it's like, I don't have to be in that space anymore unless I choose to be. And that's my choice. But that's the thing. It's not anybody else's control. It's my choice.
And really, like for me, like if I was to get into the basket of my hot air balloon and just sit there and be chained to all these experiences that contributed to the heavy vibration, the lower vibrational emotions, I could just sit there and be 2 feet off the ground and see the same view that I've been seeing, only just a little higher, but I'm still anchored.
Yeah.
But if I was to and that representing the person that I identify with because of my experiences, okay? And if I was to change, meaning break the chains, release the chains, unhook the chains, then I can rise up. And then the view becomes spectacular. And I can see things from a broader perspective, and I get to see the horizons and and fields and the trees or whatever, wherever I am, I get to see this amazing view that I would never have seen if I decided to stay anchored into what I thought was who I was supposed to be.
I like that.
I'm going to have to come back and listen to this because I sound pretty freaking phenomenal today.
You're on fire.
I am on fire. I'm like, damn, I'm channeling Wayne Dyer. I must be channeling Wayne Dyer or something. I don't know.
You probably are. I mean, honestly, that's just how it works. That's just how it works. It's that simple. That's how we do it. I mean, everything is that simple. And it's even making me think, because I'm always thinking, oh, I need to be grounded. I need to be grounded. Or you see, you hear what I'm saying? I need to be. I don't need to be.
Yeah.
Our natural state is to be, we're in harmony with everything. Our natural state, if I'm constantly thinking I need to be grounded, oh, I got to be grounded right now. I am grounded. That's a natural state. So the only way I'm going to have an awareness of that is, where are my thoughts going to right this moment?
Yeah.
Am I in the past, or am I too far into the future? Because if I am in either one of those places, I'm not right now.
Right.
So crazy.
And this is what we have, right? Right here, right now, present moment.
That's all we have. It's gone.
Gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. And we get to decide. So I know for me, I needed to have permission outside of myself. I needed permission from somebody else to say, you got to be in your present moment. You don't have to think about the past. You don't have to think about future. You just right here. This is what you have. And it's a choice. And then we a lot of times, because we are so ingrained and programmed with beliefs and the limitations that we argue for, that we don't realize how many choices we actually have. And until somebody says, similar conversation we've had, right? You're like, oh my God, they're texting me. And I'm like, and you have a choice. You don't have to respond to it right now. You can wait. And
Yes.
And I think your eyes got this big and your jaw dropped and you looked at me and you're like, oh, like it had to sink in.
Yeah.
right? And I know this to be true because I did the same thing. When somebody gave me permission, a mentor gave me permission for something, it was to change my beliefs. Like I just thought, this is what I believe and this is the way it is till I take my last breath. And then I heard, well, you know what? A belief is just a thought that you think over and over and over until it becomes truth for you. And so you can change that belief. I probably had the same look on my face that you did with me. I was like, wait, I need to compute what you just said. I have a choice in changing my beliefs. Hold on. So funny.
But it even goes all the way back to, gosh, the first time that I say you guys, because there was a group of you ladies that were together at the time. And I remember like, oh gosh, the family member would call me like over and over and over again until I answered a phone or called them. I mean, like crazy, or was rude and then would hang up and then try to call me back and then try to talk to me and all this stuff. And it's like, you guys said, well, you don't have to answer the phone. And I remember like initially like getting ready to argue, and I'm sure I did argue for my limitations. Well, I have to. This is my family member. You're supposed to answer to
your belief,
you
right?
have to answer their calls. You have to. You're like tethered to that person. You're responsible. No, it was like none of those things. And it's like, that took me a little bit of time to really go into that and take that on as a new tool for me to be like, oh, because at the phone ring, I'd be like, oh, I'm not going to answer it.
Right?
I'm not doing it. And then I'd give in. Yeah.
It's like grabbing those white pants.
Yes, exactly. And then I recognized that I was doing that. And then once you practice that, after a little bit, it's like it becomes so easy. And then I started recognizing, well, then I was becoming defensive. Just like even like once we were just saying, if someone wants to contact me on a freaking Sunday, Sunday on a holiday, Easter Sunday, you're sending me a message. Oh, hey, happy Easter. Hey, can I schedule a massage appointment? No, you may not. But no, yes, you may, but I'll take care of this tomorrow on a business day. Today I'm not going to be taking care of this. So initially I would be upset about that. And I have been.
Right.
That has happened. And then I got to be where, no, I'll get to it. And then I just let my intuition guide me. And sometimes I might get back to it that same day when I'm in a space in a wherever I want to be that feels good, then I'm responding. But I don't have to respond from like, again, picking up those white pants. I don't have to respond thinking, oops, something bad's going to happen once I put these pants on. Oh, those are going to stay in the closet. No, I just let it go and just let it see how it plays out. It doesn't have to be stressful. The whole process is easy. You just get to it when you get to it. Everything.
Yeah. And I remember that conversation about the phone because I think one of the things that was said, whether it was me or somebody else, was let it go to voicemail. And if it's important, they'll leave a voicemail. And then, like, this is a process. And then you can listen to the voicemail and you get to choose what emotion you want to have with it. Right? Because nobody can make you angry. Nobody can make you joyful. People encourage you to feel certain ways. But ultimately it's you yourself who chooses the emotion. And so listening to the voicemail, you could get defensive and angry and then call them back. And then like you in that space, neither person can hear each other. They just can't, because one person's trying to prove the other person wrong and that they're right. And so is the other person. Like it's just the dynamics of the conversation and what they're thinking and feeling. And so you get to choose to on how you receive the message, right? How are you hearing the message? But when you turn and again, being either defensive and angry because of their tone, because of the words they're using, because of their temperament, or you can take a breath. And this is where compassion comes into, is take a breath and go, okay, they're in their own pain. They're doing what they know how to do. They're speaking the way they know how to speak. They're having their temper tantrums because that's what they know to do to get attention. They're yelling and screaming because that's what they know how to do to get their point across. It's their way of being. And if I take a breath and listen to that voicemail or a message or a text, you can read the text the same way. and go, okay, this is how they know how to be. I don't have to be in that space. So first of all, I'm going to get right with myself. I'm going to raise my vibration. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to be in a space of love. And then call them back or not. And then if you call them back, it could be 2 minutes, it could be 2 hours, it could be 2 days, 2 weeks. You get to choose, right? And then we have these choices. When do I want to call? Do I want to call them back? Do I want to engage in this conversation with them, knowing how their attitude or way of being is? Or do I want to just take a breath? I'm going to keep my, return back to, because you probably got a little angst, return back to this good feeling space that I was in before I got the phone call. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. I'm going to go have coffee with my friends. I'm going to see a client. I'm going to write. I'm going to journal. I'm going to read a good book. I'm just going to go about my day. And in the meantime, I'm going to send them love. Every time I think about them, I'm going to send them love, because that's going to be more beneficial for them and me, instead of me calling them and us colliding. Right? So and there's hundreds of thousands of ways that scenario could play out, and what you decide to do, because again, we have choices. We get to choose what we want to do.
It's true. All of it's true.
So good. And I looked at you and I looked right over at the clock. It's 11:01. Ones are for manifesting. So just take a breath and think about real quick, what do you want to manifest in that joyful space?
Make that list. Make your 5, 5 things you want on that list you want to manifest. Yeah, I love that.
Awesome.
It narrows it down. Super fabulous.
Super fabulous. And so there you have it, my friends, the words of wisdom from Amie and Bev today.
That's right. We get to grow while we're talking to you as well. It's awesome.
So true, right?
It is.
Because we have our own, we process our own thoughts while we're talking.
Yeah. Realizations. I've had a few realizations now. How does it work out in my life currently? I'm not sure yet, because it's brand new. It's a brand new process. Like us being a natural vibration, what does that look like? I mean, does that mean that I don't have to focus on being in a high vibration anymore? No, I don't know yet. Do I just focus on the stuff that I'm letting go of, or do I just maintain the high vibration? That's probably more like it. So it's just a matter of feeling my way through how this is going to look, because that's such a huge thing. That's a natural space for us, and we're not used to that natural space anymore.
Yeah. It's like we've been practicing so long of being in the unnatural space that now we need to practice being in a natural space of what we already are.
Yes.
The unnatural space isn't what we are.
Exactly.
But we know that, right? We know that space. And to practice our natural way of being, we got to practice it more often in order to get more familiar with it, to feel safe in it. And that becomes the comfort zone instead of the unnatural space.
Absolutely. Love it.
I do too. It's a great conversation. We've had some amazing conversations lately. So if you've been listening to us and this is your first podcast episode that you've listened to with us, then you might want to go back to listen to the last 2 or 3, because they've been pretty amazing. I mean, for us, this is amazing to us, because this is where we're at.
Absolutely.
Right? This is where we're at. And if you're resonating with us, then we have beneficial information. And so go back, listen to the last 2 or 3 episodes, but there's like 100 or more by now. So anyway, we just come, we have our conversations. This is like our own therapy session for us, and we get to share it with you.
It's true.
That's how this happened. Just a little backstory. That's how it happened for us, is Bev and I would get on the phone, or we'd see each other. We'd have these amazing conversations, and we're just like, this went on for a few years, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Bev, we should just do this for everybody. We should have our conversations and record it and let everybody hear it. Of course, that took a little coaxing with her because she wasn't
By
on
a
board
little,
right
she
away.
means couple of years. That's right. It took a little time.
It took a little time, a little encouragement, a little, encouraging words. And then we've been doing this for, what is it? 2 years. 2 years.
It's crazy.
2 years. So anyway, so if you are hanging out with us, thank you so much. I hope that our words have been beneficial for you in your journey. And you, I'm sure, know people who would benefit from it as well. So please be sure to keep us, share us and our information. Don't keep us a secret. So
It's awesome.
thanks for hanging out with us.
That's right. Thank you.
And if you're listening to a podcast like where there's no, like, this is on YouTube also. So if you're listening to the podcast, that's great. We appreciate you. But if you want to see our goofy faces, then, and facial expressions, may I say, because I do a lot of them because I don't know, my face speaks a lot. Then go watch us on YouTube. The title is Amie and Bev Community. That's what we're under, or Tea Time with Amie and Bev. So good. Thank you, Bev, for your amazing self and coming and being my therapist every week. And it's great.
You're welcome. And thank you, because it is great. Man, oh man, it's wonderful.
And remember to be resilient this week.
That's right.
Resilient.
That's right. And get in your hot air balloon and take a trip.
That's right. All right, my friends, make it a great week. We'll see you next time.
Bye.